Now that the internet has transformed the world into a global village, it may be wise to consider the risks of small-town living. That is, information you share with one neighbor may be all too easily shared with everyone.
In cyberspace, that means you could wind up eating your words long after they were written. There is simply no such thing as an eraser on the internet, a lesson many young people are learning the hard way. Catherine Barrett reports for us from Seattle.
5 years ago, they were just a few careless keystrokes by a club kid bragging about drug use. But what goes on the web stays on the web. Google Josh Santangelo today, and on page 1, up pops that bad news blog, preserved forever in an article in which he was quoted.
His site is very popular, so it's been there forever and will probably always be there forever. So it's not something I can really get away from.
Santangelo has gotten away from the late-night rave lifestyle and built his own web development business in Seattle. He doesn't think the Google blot has hurt his career, or has it?
Not that I can prove, but there have been, a couple times where, I'm talking to somebody about doing a project and it doesn't end up happening for one reason or another that's not really clearly defined, and could have been that. I don't know.
That uncertainty should be a warning to anyone tempted to spill their life story online.
We're kind of in this new Wild West frontier where people are acting like the internet is a private diary or a place to joke around or post a funny video or a picture of yourself or smear someone, when in actuality it's a very permanent global blackboard.
In the spring years of their lives, it may be hard for young people to plan for a future perhaps decades away. But career and hiring experts say if kids are not aware that online information can stick like a bad tattoo, that future could be tainted by a careless cyber past. Potential employers will scour the web for a job seeker's tracks, so experts say be ready to discuss, if not defend them.
And I basically tell them to start in Google, use every search engine they can to check on what is out there. It's better to be prepared and know what's there so you can respond accordingly. So you don't know if there's a message that someone who didn't like you has out there. You don't know if there's a picture of you acting silly years ago. You don't know if some juvenile prank that you pulled is on the web. So it's better to find out about it.
And Huber has seen it all.
The worst one perhaps that I've seen is someone who was clantily clad, jumping off a cliff, and while his friends were thinking it was cute, it took one click of the button to find this person on the web, and that's for sure not an image you want to leave.
There's one great low-tech rule to follow to avoid gunking up your Google trail.
If you wouldn't want your mother to see it, don't put it out there.
Catherine Barrett for Business Week Weekend, Seattle.
And just recently, Chicago Tribune reporters were able to find names, addresses, and phone numbers for thousands of Central Intelligence Agency employees and dozens of supposedly secret facilities. They found it all on the internet.
In the age of the all-seeing search engine, even the CIA admits that its covert agents can have a hard time flying under the radar. For more on Google background checks, including a step-by-step way to protect yourself and your identity on the internet, pick up the latest Business Week magazine. It's all in there. It's just like a credit report. Whatever is in the internet or on the credit report is going to follow you. And
it's harder to fix, though.
It's harder to fix on the internet, but just like your credit report, it's up to you to know what the potential problem is and to address it if you can.
So Google yourself right now.
Absolutely.
Now, if you can't seem to take a steady digital photo,